All right.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
continue. My bad.
No, you're okay. Thank you. But yeah, I mean, that could be a next step, which is fuck it, why not? If that's what we truly want to do, if there's energy behind that from us and we want to, you know, push on that, then sure, throw that into the pot of next steps. That why the fuck not? I mean, it, like I said, it just depends on what our future plans look like, because the to your point, like yeah, the base token doesn't exist anymore to me. It I'll hold that bag because it's literally worthless at this point. Um, it is so fucking poetic too. By the way, it's so poetic. The vote was to, and I talked to Flood about this. He was dying, bro. He's like, so the vote basically ended at do nothing. And he's like, I know. He's like, I know you guys have been thinking about this for like a year. And the vote, just do nothing. Like you can't write that shit, bro.
Yeah.
Like you can't write it. And then you know what happened after that? Literally nothing.
Right.
The vote described what was going to happen.
Yeah. I think
No,
honestly, I think that's just a product of like true democracy or something like that, right? Like if you let everyone have a say, then basically the says cancel each other out because there'll be someone on the complete other side arguing with someone on the opposite side of them, and they'll just debate without actually doing the thing that they
right.
were talking about agreeing upon. And that's kind of what
Exactly.
happened. We were like, all right, we're a headless brand. So instead of just like using this as a higher zip tatership, then like let's ask the people what they want to do. And ultimately it was like conversations circling around each other until like, yeah, nothing.
I think maybe the one way to frame it is that we made the poll the head of the brand.
Yeah,
And
Mm,
what we should have
that's
done
good.
is said that there's no head. And because there's no head, or because there's so many heads, any head can choose whatever they want to do.
exactly.
That might be the thing. Like as you was thinking, as you were talking, then I was like, where one of the strongest parts of Hire is the community. And for a long time, the community has um, has been in that Farcaster channel. Like that has been the head of Hire in a way. Is that Farcaster channel?
Mm-hmm.
Does it make sense to have multiple heads in terms of places people gather? And I know there's already informal ones, but for the even those informal ones, not to look back to that channel. That seems like ultimately what would occur is that if higher proliferates wide enough, then there's like maybe there are I think consensus places of gathering will I don't know about basically what I'm saying is if there was a mainnet thing, is there also a mainnet community? Is there a Solana community? And is the base community just the Barcast community and those two things overlap? Whereas, maybe there's a Discord community that has a token on Celestia or whatever it is.
Yeah, it's a good question, and it does. I think that question would have to be answered for us. Of do we want? Yeah, the question there to answer is: do we want higher.zip to be the mainnet head? Farcaster being the base head. If
Right.
that's an interesting way to think about it. You got
That's
my mind racing. Like Farcaster is the head of base hire.
yeah, that's a good point. It's a good frame of reference, honestly, because if we're thinking about it and all the things that we're talking about also with like the chat features and like a place to congregate as a place to congregate, then in that way, Farcaster and Higher Zip are aimed to be two separate places of gathering, essentially.
Well, which is what we set out to do from the start, basically.
Right.
We just hadn't thought about it from a chain perspective.
Right.
We thought about it from a social perspective, a media perspective, but not at the blockchain level. The question therein lies is like, is it better? Is it different enough to matter? Like you said, John, and I've wholeheartedly agree with this, that the community is the biggest part of Higher from my perspective. And so it's like, are we doing this to build a different community, to grow the existing community, and maybe all of the above, maybe none of the above, I guess, outlining kind of what those goals would be from a people perspective, because I understand it really well from a philosophical perspective. That clicks for me. Just, I'm here from a social network, social community perspective. I'd maybe need to think about that a little bit further, with the base token still existing at this point.
Yeah. Why are people gathering in that channel at the moment? What are the forces that keep them there? I think one of the nice things about the Farcaster channel is that it had Light as the person who made it, and then he's since disappeared. So it is kind of a headless, unowned channel in that way. Like, it's not like he's in there making announcements or anything, and there's like lots of different people who can make announcements. The difference would be if HIGHER.ZIP became a place of gathering, then you kind of put yourself in a position where you're more head. One of the nice things about token markets is that they're permissionless. Anyone can buy any amount of the token that they want. So yeah, it would be kind of cool if there was like a group chat embedded inside the token. Like, that would kind of be perfect, where like anyone can say anything on the token.
That's a wild concept. Like, the token is the network at that point, right?
Yeah. I think one of the things we didn't have enough time to do, or weren't thinking about it in that particular way, because we were more considering, is it the right thing to do, rather than, and then it was only towards the end we were like, yeah, we think this is the right thing to do. But we got to that conclusion through the help of the community, really, then pushing back and us being like, actually, no, we don't think that's correct. We actually think this is correct. They kind of helped us like strengthen our conviction.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things you can do when you have conviction is then just spend energy trying to work out what's the best way to invite people into sharing that opinion, or seeing what you can see. And maybe a nice way to invite people onto mainnet is a NFT mint in the first instance, and then because one of the strong parts of an NFT mint is also the community side of it.
Big time.
So yeah, there's some interesting space. The whole thing always with when there's a community space is like, who controls that community space, or who can say what they want to say, who can make announcements, what privileges are there, and how those privileges distributed. The nice thing about things like Twitter and Farcaster is that they're almost, even DWR like Dan Romero used to get shit off people because he was like the head of the space, and they'd be like, fucking give us a higher like button, idiot. You know.
Yeah. And then the maybe the higher level question is like, which plays into the idea of consensus and social and relationships, is like, does anybody care if the headless brand has a head over here, you know, which would be us in this scenario? Like, does anybody care in the way that's like they're mad about it, is kind of the framing that I have. And I don't think so. I mean, and if you're sticking to your conviction and what your belief and what higher actually is, it's like fuck around and find out, you know, kind of thing. And we've fallen into like a don't fuck around, don't find out, and curl up. So it's like, to me, it's either we do what we want or it's fucking dead. And I think that applies to literally everybody in the network. That's what Chatra's doing with Farcon. It's like, I'm gonna do what I want, or what else, you know? And it's cool. No one's like, fuck, there's a Rome head now. Like, oh, we're cooked, you know? Maybe think about mainnet as like a location as opposed to a blockchain in like a community sort of way.
Yeah, one of the things I guess I was thinking before, to mirror what you're saying now, is that like there's not a reason why you couldn't be part of both, right? Like you could decide to proliferate higher on base and also at the same time proliferate higher on mainnet. You know what I mean? Like one person can do both of those things, you know. It's again, it's down to the individual, right? Like
it is. And I love that framing actually. And it makes me think more so of like, I always come back to this, like, what are the actual goals? It's like, do you want to be part of something that's like, because we all fight this in IRL as opposed to on the internet, which is like, do you want to be part of the company where your job is to deliver value back to the shareholders? Like, is that what you want to do? And that's kind of where it felt like the current state of higher is, and it's driving decisions. And it's like, fuck that. No. So I guess all that to say is like, if you step away from the idea that the token is intended to be more valuable tomorrow than it is today, then like all of this kind of dissolves, and it's like, fuck it. What? Just go.
right.
Yeah. Look, one thing we could do is then just like airdrop a mainnet token to all the base holders, and then just say we're at HIGHER.ZIP adopting the mainnet token as our like network token. Like we recognize you as part of the network if you hold a mainnet token, so that means you can chat in the chat, or you can do whatever privileges we have for like network people.
Mm-hmm.
And in that way, in like we're basically it's kind of a statement of saying we don't care about the financial side of this token. We only care about the network side of this token. We're not going to be trying to pump this. We're just saying we're going to treat this as like the network membership, basically.
Absolutely.
For us, because it lasts longer.
I'm there all day, and you know, in that sort of scenario, I would almost like love. Well, I'll say it. Yeah, I would almost like love the criticism of like this is not how to run a crypto project, because it's like, well, this isn't a pump fund token. This isn't what you think about tokens. You're wrong. Or maybe you're right, but this guy next to you who says the opposite is probably also right. Fucking who cares? I love that aspect of it. You know, it reminds me of before all that shit went down with Clanker, I had been talking to Proxy for a little bit. And he said one thing that stuck with me and still does. And he said, I miss when Higher felt punk. It was like it had an energy to it that was a little punk. It was like, fuck you, Higher. Like it's always Higher, okay? Like I don't care. It's still Higher. Price is red, still Higher. You know, and that's what this kind of feels like to me. It's like, I don't know, caring about something, having conviction in something, whether or not, like, yeah, I don't know. I'm abstracting away the idea of like, oh, well, what if nobody cares about the new token and it crashes immediately? It's like, well, fuck, I don't care, actually. So
Right.
that I don't know. I'm not sure what
It's a
happens.
war of indifference. I don't care more than you, dude.
Yeah. Exactly, bro. It's like, I don't know. We're experimenting. FIFO, as you say, John. FIFO. Because why not?
Yeah.
What would be a nice way to let's continue in this thought experiment. What's a nice way to launch a mainnet higher token? You could do like if we really don't care about the value of it, but we also care about the network, then maybe the best way isn't just to snapshot and airdrop people, but to like launch it, drop all the tokens, take a snapshot of base holders, launch the token with some amount of liquidity, and then have a claim open on mainnet where people who have been snapshotted on base can come and claim on mainnet if they want to, but they don't have to. And then when that claim window ends, whatever's left over just becomes the higher zip treasury.
That's not a bad idea. I like that.
Is there a way now, and maybe this is a separate, no, I don't think it's a separate conversation. It's and I meant between publicly and privately. But I think I guess one thing that I was thinking before at the beginning of this conversation, so it might be past the point of me bringing it up, is the fact that we still have the perma pool, and that perma pool is on base, right?
Correct.
And that still can be potentially a funding mechanism for higher zip, right? So is
Yeah.
there a world that we can basically uh, use our right to go to mainnet, but also still proliferate or in that case, like, would we completely, not have a perma pool at all? Or, what, like, how do you guys see that kind of juxtaposition or duality, I guess, is like,
Yeah.
because the vote was to do nothing, essentially that leaves us in a kind of a good place because the perma pool, if we do nothing, the perma pool exists already.
Thanks. It's true. And to me, that conversation surrounds the overall consensus of like what higher actually is. If it's a token, that's one thing. But where the conversation is going for me is it's a brand, it's a meme. And so the idea that sure, we have a LP on base, great. Oh, we now have a token on mainnet. Oh shit, there's also a Zora token on fucking Solana. It's like all of that happened and nothing changed.
Right.
It's the meme that drives attention in a crypto manner. It's like it's not the fact that there's another token here, another token there. It's like it's all a wash, in my opinion. It's I guess it's what you want to do with it that matters. And it falls a little bit into like I shared something about taste the other day, which is like, is it taste? I said taste is for consumers and critics. is it tasteful to launch something else on mainnet? I don't fucking know.
Right.
Don't care. We're going to experiment, take action, and see what happens. That's kind of where my head is.
That
Outside
was
of
a really good cast, by the way. Sorry
Thank
to
you.
cut you off.
No, go on. Thank you. I appreciate that.
Like there's a real difference between taste and taste making. Like taste making can look a little weird to the people who think they can look weird to consensus taste.
Yes. And arguably always does.
It always does, yeah.
And yeah, I think this conversation falls perfectly into that kind of category. Like, taste making is taking an action that actually might be scary because it's not consensus taste, like you just said, John. And at this point, and maybe other people outside of HIGHER.ZIP feel differently about this, but yeah, there's nothing that can be done to hurt the token more than it's already hurt. You know what I mean? At any point, if you bought higher at any point, you have lost money. If you bought it on day one and didn't sell, you have actually lost money. So it's like token over here. Who cares? I've lost a shit ton of money. That's coming from a big red number. Big red, like it cringe number. Like don't tell my wife type of number. You know what I mean?
But the thing is, we're still here. That's the crazy thing.
Right.
That's wilder than anything else. Is that the number? I don't want to say that number out loud because if I had that number in my bank account right now, I could do way more than I'm able to do right now. Like way more. But but the fact that we're still here means that there's something in it though. There's some niggly idea that higher is meant to be something larger than what it is. And I think then the question is, all right, if we've decided that taste and taste making are different things, and though we respect the taste of people, we actually through listening, we've strengthened our conviction more, and we've decided that we're going to step from hearing taste to adhering to taste making, or attempting to. What is our consensus taste? That's different from every other taste. That means that the actions we take are taste making. Because like if we just launch a mainnet token and start a perma pool again with us as the heads of it and we take all the fees, that doesn't feel meaningfully different in a taste making way. It's kind of like rehashing the thing over and over again. I think having a mainnet token, using some of whatever proceeds come from that to like seed some 0% liquidity, that sounds cool to me. Where we're like, all right, there is a national parkness to this token at its core, but then there's also nothing to say that we couldn't also spin up some sort of liquidity that's HIGHER.ZIP owned that does charge fee at the same time, or seed some liquidity for someone else and be like, actually, Chacha, here's like we raise this amount and we think that here's an ETH and some equivalent of mainnet higher, and you should get fees from it. Like this is for you. We'll have this core 0%. It's kind of like our actions with going to mainnet is one action. There's lots of other small details that can be part of taste making as well once we're there.
Yeah, that's interesting. What jumps out to me initially as far as interesting and fun and maybe cooler is the non-fungibility, like an NFT as a token as opposed to an ERC20. I don't know about structure or this, that, and the other, and I kind of don't want to think about that actually. I don't know what happens, but like the non-fungible token on mainnet like sounds fucking awesome. And is like I don't know if the ERC20 is a distraction or if it's actually the better idea. I'm not sure, but it sounds a whole lot less fun to me than a non-fungible token. Personally,
That makes sense. Yeah, I think the non-fungible token does remove a lot of like thinking. You don't have to think, and that's a nice thing in relation to higher. I think, especially if you're building on higher, if you're a builder on higher, it's really nice not to have to think about token. What I think the token does offer is like a surface for the higher meme to move into what like it's like
it's
rather
true.
than it's like because the fungibility means it can go through the sieve, whereas non-fungible tokens won't go through the sieve almost. So like or like if higher NFTs are a load of snooker balls that you've poured onto the street, they'll get to some number of places. Awesome, like a set number of places. If you pour like the same volume of liquid on the street, it can feasibly spread much further.
Sure. I agree with that, by the way. I do agree with that. Yeah, and I guess that really does just bring you back to that broad question is like, what are you doing? What are we doing? Like, are we setting up a structure? And this is what I do love about the ERC22 is like, are you setting up a structure of a future-proof sort of infinitely liquid something that people can buy as a whatever the fuck their reasoning is? Or I guess what is the point of the fucking non-fungible token?
Then you have a walled garden, I think, or you have a garden.
What if there's no wall?
The wall is made up of the people who own the NFTs. So, or the floor is the wall. Like if the people who own the NFTs are like, I'm not selling this shit, then if we have some kind of like behind the token gated access thing, then that's the wall.
But what if it's infinite or free?
Like an open edition, like 1155 or something like that. Like
maybe not even 1155. It may be fun to consider what that means from 721. I don't know where this is going, by the way. I'm just thinking out loud.
What if? Yeah, this is interesting. Maybe, I don't know. One of the things I've been able to do recently, last week, is get an AI API, plug it into this thing that then takes an input from the user and then asks the question based on the input. And in theory, you could get, and there's probably maybe not infinite, but maybe there are infinite numbers of combining words. You could do some sort of mint where it's infinite. People can always mint from it, but they'll always get something different based on the input that they put in, because there's some AI on the other side that says, okay, I'll spit out something different because you gave me something different.
Mm-hmm. Right. That sounds fun. That sounds fun. And maybe that's just one of these non-fungibles. Maybe that we don't stop making them and that's just cool. I don't know. Oh, I don't fucking know. But that sounds more fun than, and this is all personal just because I don't have the ERC20 brain, but it just sounds so much more fun to me. But if ERC20 makes sense for like what we want to do, then fucking absolutely. You know what I mean? I
think, yeah. So if we think of HIGHER.ZIP as if we were like a studio that released lots of different kinds of NFT experiment, say, that sounds cool to me. It's just like what makes a community sticky. And the way that I've seen communities be sticky so far in crypto is basically related to value accruing to a single asset, whether that is Bored Apes have their top token, which is the Bored Ape token, and then things start to fall apart for them as soon as you introduce the ABRC20 and as soon as you introduce the, I guess the other, like whatever the other things they had were didn't really ruin it for them too much, but CryptoPunks is so strong because there's just that asset, and that is kind of like where everyone's focus is. I've seen it with NFT projects where but it's a lot about framing as well. Like there are successful projects there that release lots of NFT collections, but because they have one that they're focused on, if you own this token, you are the community. Then that gives at least some kind of, there's a stickiness to, okay, we know who we are. This is our identity. These are the things, cool things that we are attached to as a result of having this one thing, which is the original, which would be the original case for the base higher token. Is like, okay, that's a cool one. But if we,
though to step back, like what makes it sticky? I'm now choosing to think about this from outside of crypto as well, in parallel to all of these conversations. Because, so to answer that is what makes a community sticky, and it's, and this is a cheap word, but culture and brand identity, right? You know, like Bored Ape had high price, but Jack Butcher said it best. He said when he went to the Bored Ape meetup, and it was just a bunch of dudes that had $500,000 NFTs, he said, "This is the fucking top. I'm out." You know, there was no culture there, right? And I think Higher is uniquely positioned with inherent culture because of the brand identity in a way that, like, Punks even does not. I'm unpacking this as I'm saying it out loud, but is there a way to combine the two, price being irrelevant? If you start with the idea of price being irrelevant, where does that get you and why? Does it unlock something with regards to community? And do we care that the community is sticky?
What are they sticky for at that point is a good, yes. That, I think you're tracking it here, which is we need to apply the same philosophy that led to the higher token being like, which there's the same philosophy that made launching a higher ERC20 an opportunity is the same philosophy that makes experimenting here a similar, it's kind of cheap to call it an opportunity, but I think, you know, Higher was almost co-opted by that ERC20. And maybe Optimists plus HB is a better representation of what Higher has been than the token.
I 100% agree.
In which case, we could have, this sounds very cool to me, because then you're almost reframing NFTs in a way. You're saying, so people outside, you're saying, yeah, there's an NFT, but it's not because like this isn't about the money you'll make from the NFT. This is about having like a wallet with like some cool shit in it, basically. I think it's cool.
It's compelling.
Yeah.
I just keep falling back on the why, because I don't want to do anything for number go up. Obviously cool if number go up, but I don't care about any of the things that I've ever interacted with because of number go up. I don't give a fuck. Like even my 401k, you know what I mean? Like I could not care less about my 401k. There's no, but that number goes up, you know, there's no community there. There's no culture there. That number always goes up, but I don't spend my time there. I don't know. Like, how do you get people to go to FarCon at the higher event without the idea of number go up? And it is just good people and having fun and creating shit and new experiences. You know, people will show up to Chatra's higher event, even though the token is destroyed. You know, I believe that. I do believe that. And it's brand identity and culture. And social reputation. Chatra's a fucking G. You know, if it was some random person, which is totally fine, hosting a higher event, like the probability of people showing up to that are much lower, I would assume, right? The infinite non-monetary NFT as an experiment is, yeah, I'm going to think about that for a while. I don't, like I said, ERC20 may be sick as well. Like if it may just totally make sense. And like we're all stoked on that. No problem. Just as long as we feel like we're doing the right thing for the right reasons, I think would be my main point.
Yeah. So I think that's cool. I think we can give up on doing an ERC20 on mainnet. I can be swayed on that really. The reason for me to have a mainnet ERC20 is so it can act as a proxy for network membership and store of value simultaneously. So you're basically saying the network is valuable enough for me to want to be part of it long term. So I'm going to put some of my money in it so I can stay in the network. And then there's also the opportunity for people to speculate on that network being more valuable at the time. That's the only reason to have an ERC20. But if you let go, but it isn't not a bad reason. But higher itself doesn't rely on that particular mechanism to continue to grow as both a community and a brand. It's one way in which the community and brand could grow, but it might also be limiting. We might find ourselves in a similar situation to the base token anyway, in which case what it sounds like is being described is setting up like a higher main or running higher experiments on mainnet through NFTs, which is also a cool thing.
I think they're both cool is the thing though. And so if we're really drinking our own Kool-Aid here, or if I'm drinking my Kool-Aid, why not both? If it's truly higher and headless, like why not both? I don't know.
Right.
I think with at risk of people watching this, if you have a token on mainnet, then a mintable NFT that is, except culturally, probably going to be worthless because there's no manufactured scarcity. As in, we say from the beginning, this is a philosophy play. There's no reason for you to mint this unless you think it would be cool to have one. Then you created a mechanism for fairly distributing a token to people who fuck with the philosophy. And we could do that. You don't have to do that after the first one either. You could run 3, 4, 5 experiments, and then at a certain point say, look, we built this network of people who seem to fuck with just buying infinite supply NFTs. Nobody's trying to sell these, obviously, because they're infinite supply. And they fuck with the culture of higher. We've managed to we've been sharing higher with them through these experiments, either through whatever the outputs are or whatever cultures are growing around them. Then maybe there's a case for another token where it's like, okay, we actually have built some sort of culture, and now let's see what we can do.
Mm-hmm. It's sort of like a stepping stone process.
Yeah, almost like the higher speed runner in terms of like there was a bull posting channel that then turned into the higher channel. I think there was a bull posting channel where people would just bull post shit and the high was a word in there.
Yeah.
And then higher became that channel. You made that?
No, I think Light made that. I'm pretty
Yeah,
sure.
it wouldn't be. And then higher became a channel. And then people were posting there because it was like just fun to do. And then at a certain point, once a community had grown in that channel, then someone thought, oh, like, let's do an ERC20. But it was maybe now there is the foresight to think about how would you launch an ERC20 to match the kind of philosophy that built the community in the first place.
Point being, if we launched an NF or a ERC20 right now, it may not encapsulate the needs or desires of the current community. So you'd take action on mainnet and see what resonates, see who's drawn in, what this new community is, and then think about structure from there.
Yeah. I mean, you could even do it in a higher way where you're like, rather than us saying we're going to launch it, we have like multiple NFT on-chain experiments, and then our 7th or 8th on-chain experiment is some sort of contract where we say, look, all you have to do is drop 10 of your NFTs that you've been collecting over this time into this thing, and if 1,000 different people all drop 10 NFTs in it, then we're going to take that as then it will unlock a token for everybody who does that. And then it's like, it's even out of our hands. We're like, all right, if you guys don't really fucking care or fuck with an ERC20, no. But if we've decided that this is what an ERC20 would look like to come out of a contract like this, if it happened.
That's compelling. Yeah. And I like the idea that you touched on about kind of just releasing shit and seeing what happens. I don't know exactly how you just framed that word for word, but
I think I remember Brian saying it, has been saying over multiple calls, like, oh, I was doing that one thing and then I didn't realize, but now it makes sense now. Like what? Like I can now port over that learning or that experience. This, I think, kind of what we're doing is Higher has been an accumulation of like experiences, and obviously there's things outside of it, but like learning that having conversations about what kind of ERC20 we would want to launch if we ever were part of one. Now, if the opportunity ever is there, then we would have some kind of framework for how to think about going and doing it. And in a similar way, it doesn't mean we have to commit to ever doing it. We just know that in our past we've tried lots of different things that we can apply to the future.
yeah. And all the while, still just do what we normally do from Thursday to Thursday. Continue to have conversations about product, continue to have conversations about stream, NFT marketplace, yada, yada. Continue all of that. Whatever lives or dies, cool, but also we're just like releasing shit on mainnet. And this is the line that I like that you said, is like, we're not officially launching, you know? I feel like that is freeing. It's not like, because I guess that's where a lot of my hesitation initially, or fear, I'll say fear even, comes from like launching an ERC20 on mainnet. It's like, it's such a sticking a flag in the ground, it feels like, to where the non-fungible token, that's cool that we have thought about and think is fun, just seems like a lot less committal in an approachable way.
Like and this again is like hypothetical, but like it's more exciting to me for us to have an NFT project that's called like decentralized dev button, which is like it relies on a decentralized group to press a button for anything to happen.
See, I love that. That's fucking awesome. Yes. That does sound fun. Okay.
You just reminded me of a project from back in the day. I believe it was called Chorus. And
Okay.
the premise, this was when Discord things in crypto was like a big thing, Discord channels.
Discord, yep.
And they basically had, and honestly, I don't even think it was token gated, but it must have been token gated, because essentially it was like, it would be a Discord channel or chat in which images would kind of roll in. So maybe they had like Arena API hooked up to it or something like that. And then people could then react to that image with like heart or whatever the reaction emoji was. But if that message got past a certain amount of threshold of likes or reactions, it would then tweet that image out on like a bot account, essentially a bot Twitter account or something like that. So essentially, the Twitter account would be with the thing that like people followed, and it would just kind of like be its own arena board of like things that got above a certain threshold of reactions in the Discord channel. And the Discord channel must have been token gated or something, because I don't know how public it was, but I was never part of that actual Discord channel. I was just like a follower of the tweet bot, basically.
Sure.
So it was what you just reminded me of, like, it's like, yeah, decentralized ownership of a Twitter account, essentially,
That's fucking sick.
which is
See,
interesting.
that's like, yeah. Ideas like that are so compelling to me, but it does stem from, the infrastructure layer that we continuously talk about, is like how, like you said, John, how do you make a sticky community in a way that there are people that enjoy being in that Discord, liking this thing, in order to, spin the gears for the entire machine. And tokens are one way to do that. But I think the value of fun has been pushed aside in a dystopian way. Like the terminal.market, that's fun. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have fucked around with it, and I'm sure you probably wouldn't have either, if it was just like, click this, you get either more money or less money afterwards. You know what I mean? It's like, it's an experience. It's fucking hilarious. The guy's like screaming about 25 ETH buys, like in your ear. Like, it's remarkable. Yeah, there's crypto involved, but it's like that. I think we know how to get people involved. You built Beings Club.
Yeah.
You got people involved into something that you didn't even want to describe publicly on the timeline. You know what I mean? Like you just you use the word curiosity, and it's like people are down. You know what I mean? Yeah, is it 10,000 people? No, but like, does it fucking need to be? Not sure. Not sure. It's compelling.
Yeah. There is
I think it's cool. I think. Go on, sorry, Brian.
is a quick aside, just like a gestation period of like ideas, right? Where some, I think we've even talked about before, where like there's people are trying to take their ideas public almost like too fast nowadays. Or it's like sometimes you do got to let it bake a little bit, or build in public. Sure, do that then, right? Like,
Sure.
but there is like a gestation. So that's just an aside, not to take the conversation off topic.
Agreed, by the way.
No, you're right, and I think after this calendar, we're going into that gestation period, which is cool. I kind of like that nobody's watching the streams, but there'll be a record of like that gestation period,
Right.
where it'll be like we were going back and forth on ideas for a while, and then that, yeah.
There's something beautiful about that.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I love that you brought that up, because that has become my favorite part of the stream is the record.
Yeah.
It's bizarre. Like the view, like we thought we'd be chasing viewers,
Right.
but this is kind of falls into that broader conversation. It's like we thought we'd be chasing viewers, but like we fell into whatever the fuck this is, and we're just like stoked that we have a record of our conversations.
Right.
It's so beautiful. Like we don't make any fucking money, but at the end of the day, it's like maybe we're happy.
At the end of the day, we don't make any money. Yeah.
No, I think like we're making more money than we've ever made, really. Like in
Sure.
terms of like, there's the amount of money we've made total cumulatively goes up every day, because whether we like it or not, people trade the token.
True.
And tomorrow, you're the 5-horse calendar. If we sell one, we've made more money than in probably one day than we've made from the purple.
Yeah.
Over a 24-hour span. So
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at it like that, like obviously, if you compare ourselves to the whales throwing 500 ETH at Poopcoin on terminal.markets, we're making zero.
Yeah.
But if you compare us to yesterday, we're making more. I don't want to speak into the universe that at the end of the day we make no money, because I don't think that's true. I want to say that every day we make more money.
That's gorgeous.
That's just my woo brain. But
Well, and it's undisputably true. It's actually a fact. What were you gonna say? Sorry.
yeah, I'm gonna have to jump off. But I think another thing worth mentioning, just for the record, is I emailed the guys at Endowment, because we've had that Go Dharmic address on the permapool thing, and it's been slowly accumulating ETH every time someone claims those fees for us. And the day I emailed him is the day we went over the $50 threshold that they need to withdraw from the account. So they'll withdraw that $50 of ETH from that thing, and they'll give it to Go Dharmic, and that'll feed 50 people, which is pretty cool.
Wow.
No fucking way.
That's amazing.
Big milestone, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's very cool.
Good job, boys.
Look at that.
Good job, D-Gens.
Real shit.
Good job. I think we couldn't have done it without them.
Honestly, yeah. Thanks for nuking the token, because 50 people got meals, bro.
That's sick, actually.
That's kind of hard.
Yeah, that's super dope.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
I gotta run.
Okay.
Much love.
All right, man.
Later.
See you
Let me
soon.
know if I need to do anything regarding the calendar. I'll from any account I can post anything.
Okay. Yeah, we'll shout.
Sure thing.
Later, John.
Peace, man.
Man, that was a crazy conversation.
Yeah. Yeah. Intense. Intense. Lots of
Shit.
ideas floating around also, like where we could take the thing basically. And it's pretty limitless, I guess, which is, good or bad.
Good or bad, we do love that shit, but yes, I yeah, this my closing thought on that is that I'm so unattracted to ERC20 right now because it just feels like such a restricting structure.
Yeah.
It feels like it just hold, and it does, and arguably it should hold a lot of weight.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I guess I can't help but think of like how did we get here? Right? Like as a I guess industry or segment of people, like how did crypto people get to the point where like that's so important?
Because it worked. It made
Yeah.
people money. So I think that's just like in crypto, that's the baseline for we should repeat this.
Yeah.
Or I want that for me. But it's like,
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
because it doesn't, like we talked about last week, it doesn't fall into the category of like the reason I got into or involved with Ethereum.
Right.
It doesn't, yeah, it's just less interesting to me and scary. Just the amount of responsibility for what. We don't have the what yet, so it's like, I mean, we have a good idea of the what, a great foundation of the what, but not a perfect answer in a way that's like making people happy monetarily. My brain is much simpler in a way that's like, I, I just as soon as give you something that you're willing to pay for, and that's it. And you get something, I get something, but I didn't promise you anything outside of the fact that you'll get a calendar at your door.
Right.
You gave me $44, you got a calendar. It's like, cool, bro. That we shook hands. I don't know. That's the last I'll say on that. But
Yeah, I guess so. Even when we talk about the money aspect, I keep thinking about like the gestation period. It's like you went too like, and I say this obviously like anecdotally, it was like you went down the path of like trying to monetize too quickly. And I say this as like a blanketed statement towards like everyone who's ever done that. I'm not even trying to direct that necessarily, but it's like,
agreed.
and because you went that way so quickly, that it became so important that like once that doesn't exist, you lose meaning of life. Essentially, you're like, okay, well, if it doesn't make me money, then there's no fucking reason to do it.
Right. What are you doing? Yeah.
What's the
Right.
fucking reason there?
What are we doing here?
Yeah.
It gets heady real quick, but I think it's the right conversation.
Yeah.
Like with regard to hire, like Martin was the first to admit, like he was just like, fuck it, I want to launch a token, which I respect, but it's like it almost gives credence to the network as a whole because people expected something to happen from that token and believed that the people in the network could deliver something that would drive value to that token.
Right.
It gives credence to the meme, to the
Right.
idea, to the brand. But with the framing and the timing, or like if Pump Fun didn't exist, you know what I mean? Like things may be different.
Right.
Culture may be different. Yada, yada, yada. But I wanted to, so let's talk calendar quickly. tomorrow the prints are done, right?
Yeah, that's what he said, right? Did he say 27th or 28th? I forget. I screenshotted it to you. I'm pretty sure he said 27th.
Friday the something.
Yeah. So yeah, tomorrow Friday. I think by 2 p.m. it should be ready. Is there anything other? Obviously that and the covers I gotta send you.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
Mm,
In terms of the covers, I might have to buy more paper. I don't know if I have 50 sheets. It might have been, I don't know, because each of those packs were pretty small, and I've used probably two of each of the two papers testing out of each one. So if they have 20, I have them down to 18. And if that's two packs, if we're going between the yellow and the red, then 18 times 2 is 36.
yeah, put you at 54 times 3. Sorry. Well,
So I'd have to buy basically two more packs of paper, essentially, of the harder paper that we're using as the cover.
yep. Okay.
Also, I don't have that like bone tool that people use to crease paper.
Yes.
I don't have that, so I've just been using something else. I forget what I use. Maybe it's another ruler.
Sure.
Do you want me to? I guess if I'm gonna do 50, I probably am gonna go out and buy that tool. Unless
Yeah, it's
I
probably
send it to
worth.
you with not folding it, just print it and cut, and then you would have to make the two creases. Because
If
if you,
you're willing to do that, I'd be happy about it
yeah,
because boxing up and shipping the shit's just gonna take a lot of time.
yeah, yeah, totally. Okay, so yeah, so then I'm gonna maybe even try to do that today then. I'll count the amount of paper I have,
Okay.
um, and see how much I have to yet to buy, and then uh, print and cut essentially till I get to the 50 copies.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll ship all of those things then. It'll just be all the covers and all of the calendars.
Sick. Yeah, that should be perfect timing too, so that the boxes I ordered should be here today or tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'll get those. I've got the acrylic. I have to finish up a couple magnets. But yeah, then it's just fucking go time.
What is there anything else then besides cover and calendar that I have to send you? No, right? I think that was it.
Cover and calendar, baby.
Cool.
Yeah, that's it, bro. I mean, yeah. Hopefully that doesn't cost a lot because it's gonna be heavy.
Yeah,
But
it'll probably be heavy. I was just thinking that.
we'll add that to the balance sheet.
All right.
Um,
Cool. That's exciting,
yeah,
man.
keep track of all that shit, right? Like whatever the colored paper costs and shipping and shit like
Oh
that.
yeah.
So that let's just be legit about it. I don't want us to shortchange ourselves.
Well, yeah, if we're, not to bring that back up, but if we're doing the profit sharing thing, then it's more important actually.
It's actually, yeah, pertinent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Nice.
And then if I'm gonna take some pics today, if you have any ideas for some photos for the site, I guess maybe that would be the only other thing.
Oh yeah, I missed that. What did Cameron say the next steps on the site portion of all that is?
One being supporting photos, because he didn't like the way that the Shopify was displayed. Because currently, oh yeah, and that was it. Photos of the cover wrapped around the calendar, front and back, would be good. Because he just has up the PNG, which is
Okay.
not the vibe. And then really it was he mentioned that the NFT shit with Slice doesn't work still. I don't know all of what you heard, but
Oh, he
really,
said someone was talking to him about that or something like that.
yeah,
Jacobo?
Jacopo said he fixed it, but he didn't fix it and said he'd get back to him tomorrow. But I think it may end up as us just airdropping folks,
Yeah. Yeah.
realistically.
I mean,
Which is fine.
yeah, it could be cool to rehash that receipt thing that we made back then for the donation receipts. If we're gonna have to airdrop, then that's something that's like pretty much made that we can use. It seems like.
Yeah, it depends. I mean, last time we talked about just the cover artwork,
Right.
which I don't want to say just the cover artwork. We talked about using the cover artwork,
Totally.
which I think is sick. If you think it'd be cooler to do the receipt.
Oh no, I was just saying the receipt thing for the mechanics of airdropping it to people.
Sure. Yeah. Right.
Because I think that had some kind of mechanic in there that if we hit a button, it would retroactively give people the NFT receipt for like past donations. So that means that that contract must have logic in it to find that information.
Yeah.
And if we have that
also
information,
number shit. It was numbering things, right?
right. So if we have that information, or if we can
Yeah.
extract that from that contract and then just replace the render with the cover image that we have,
Totally.
then that might just because it's
Might be
already
done.
built. I mean, again, I don't really know the context in which that contract was built, but I hopefully Cameron, obviously.
Well, yeah, he understands the scenario, so I'm staying out of it.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm just gonna stay out of that shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Me being involved there is just not helpful.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mentioned to him, let us know if there's anything else he needs. And then tomorrow, yeah, what time should we launch at? Oh, that was the thing that Cam mentioned, a release post.
Oh,
Which-
yeah.
Which actually probably isn't very difficult.
So, I mean, I don't know. To me, I do feel like in terms of pre-orders, like as soon as possible, yesterday even. You know what I mean? Because it's a pre-order.
Yeah.
Technically there isn't anything different between like yesterday and today, right? Like from
Well-
a pre-order perspective.
And yeah, technically it's not. I mean, if we launch it tomorrow, it's technically not a pre-order.
Right.
It just has a longer lead time for shipping than a 2 to 3 days, which is typical.
Exactly.
So I don't know if we need to use the pre-order language.
Yeah.
It's maybe cooler if we don't at this point. Like if we had launched it last week, yeah, sure. But I think we maybe just need some language on the site that says, please allow for like 1 week to ship. I'll obviously ship them all out as they come in, but that's all dependent on when I can officially ship, which would be once I get these boxes and once I get the box from you.
So in terms of the time, then where does that put us in terms of like the time we want to?
I guess it would just be based on engagement times. Other than that, it maybe doesn't really matter. Maybe it's
Well-
not even worth thinking about?
Well, no, I guess my question is, well, I guess the posting times, yeah, I think that part we can kind of do because the assumption is that we'll also do it like the rest of the day from like whatever time we say we're going to do it till the rest of the day. We'll basically just like continuously, or like we can post
And
it
the
every
rest of the
three
week.
hours or something. Yeah, yeah, like something crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess my question is like, what time will the website portion be up?
Oh,
Like, what time will people be able to actually go on the website and click the pre-order or order or whatever button that is that we're making that portion
hmm.
of it? Like,
So Cam suggested tomorrow as launch, which is contingent, as far as I know, just on adding comprehensive product photos.
okay,
So once we get those to Cam, the cover, I'm gonna take some more drama shots. Once we get those to Cam and he adds them, I think we're good because we kind of just basically bailed on the
NFT
NFT
portion,
mint
right?
now, so we're not waiting on Jacopo anymore. He
So,
said he'd get back to him tomorrow, so if he does and it works, then great. But like, I kind of just think we should err on the side of not testing that.
yeah,
Like, if that fucks everything up, that would be a nightmare.
right.
Bless his heart, Jacopo, but I don't want to risk that.
Yeah, I think if, yeah,
Especially since he said it worked twice now and it didn't work. It's just like,
right.
let's not do that.
Yeah. And then on top of that, the turnaround time to do it is like a day. Like, I think we might as well not, right?
Yeah, agreed.
Unless we want to do use all that time for experimentation and then just or like release it when the calendars get to you, because then we can fulfill orders at that point. That's a whole different strategy. I don't
Yeah,
even want to open that can of worms, honestly, if we don't even want to do that, you know?
I see the value in that. I also just feel like Friday is a good time to launch.
Yeah.
Like it's a good day. People are happy on Fridays.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're
Yeah.
fucking off at work a little bit.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like I said, just some more photos, and I think we're good. I'll just tell Cam or Cameron. Sorry, my toxic trait is I just shorten everybody's name, and I know that drives some people crazy, and I need to stop doing that. But I'll just tell Cameron that let's maybe just bail on the slice NFT mint, cut the guesswork out of that, and just launch tomorrow with some updated photos.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I'm on that. I'm on that team, I think.
And one thing I forgot to mention to Cameron, which we talked about, and I want to double check and get your take on it too. I said that it may be smart to just add like $10 shipping to the Stripe orders that actually support shipping. So if you order on Stripe, you pay $10, which will just pad us a little bit. Like I told John, I was like, if people order on Stripe and they see that it's free shipping, they'd be more surprised than if they saw $10 shipping.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because it's so familiar. Because that pads us in a way that, like I said, the shipping international is like $34. So on slice payments, we basically lose $1 or $2 every time somebody international orders, which is hilarious. So adding that extra padding on the Stripe just should help.
Yeah.
So if someone orders international via Stripe, we're still in profit. If someone orders international on Slice, we lose money. But
That's such a bummer that there's no like shipping calculator thing at all.
It
Like, you know, like in Shopify, when you shop, it doesn't even, I'm not even saying that this is Shopify, but like most e-commerce places, the shipping is not even calculated until you put your address in it, and then it's live calculated, and then you're just charged for shipping.
dynamic shipping,
Yeah.
yes. I understand why it's not incorporated because it is a fucking nightmare. I've done it myself, but I fucking did it myself as one guy who built a shitty website to sell 40 hats. The fact that Slice doesn't do that is insane to me.
So then our Stripe can do that?
Yeah, Stripe does that.
Okay.
Every fiat um, payment processor
Does it?
through Shopify for sure. For sure. So the question there being, because I was just suggesting add $10 shipping to the Stripe stuff, but would we do
Could
the dynamic shipping?
Yeah, is that too I guess I was assuming we are doing that because it's not, the dynamic shipping was not possible, but it is possible through Stripe?
Should be, absolutely.
Hmm.
Through Shopify, because the Stripe payment through Shopify. It's if you've ever everybody's bought shit on Shopify with Stripe.
Right.
It's always dynamic shipping.
Oh yeah, so the shipping price is determined by Shopify, but the amount itself is charged by Stripe. Is that
Correct.
kind I imagine is how it is.
As far as I know, that it does get complicated because there's shipping aggregators. I use Shippo, which is like the fucking middleman between the middleman between the middleman. And this is what I mean about I understand why Yocopo doesn't incorporate that. I'll look into that. But it should be just fine. I mean, if your mom started a Shopify tonight, like the shipping would be dynamic.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, yeah, an 8-year-old sets up a store and it has dynamic
Right.
shipping.
That's literally, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't see any reason why not. Might as well. And if you're a bad motherfucker and you're paying with Slice, then you get free shipping. Because Slice doesn't allow us to. Yeah, crazy.
Seems
So the
wild.
what-
Seems
green.
wild to me, dude. Seems honestly wild to me.
It's a non-starter. It's the only and biggest hurdle we have with selling products. So I'm like, what is Slice even offering other than like allowing somebody to click connect wallet?
So let me get this straight. Slice, it does, the NFT portion doesn't work, and also the shipping portion doesn't work. Both of these things don't work on it.
No, the NFT is broken. The shipping doesn't exist.
Okay, so they're broken in different ways.
The dynamic shipping doesn't exist. It still accepts and retrieves shipping data as a CSV, but that's a 8th grade coding problem. You know what I mean? Like that's something an 8th grade coding
It's just an
class.
input.
Figure out.
People input their address, and it's able to log. It's able to log this address. Great, amazing.
Claude's already done with it, and I haven't even opened it yet. You know what I mean? It's funny, and I don't know enough about this guy to understand like where his priorities lie. Maybe it all makes sense from his perspective, and I'm stupid.
Well, I think at the end of the day, maybe he's just banking on like some other middleware or third-party provider to be like Shippo, for example, like Shippo to come in and be like, okay, I want to build this off of Slice. Maybe that's what it is, you know?
Shippo integrates crypto now.
Right.
Now Slice can add Shippo. You're probably right.
It's probably something like that.
You're probably fucking right. But it's also not hard. Like what I did was you just couldn't get to the checkout page to connect your wallet. until you've submitted your shipping information.
So maybe we should build a shippo for Slice is maybe the point here, right? Like, because then
Fucking
what it
build
is, and again, I don't want to add this to the list of ideas that we got over here, but like the fact of the matter is that like there is a way to translate address to shipping costs because Shippo does it, right? And maybe not only Shippo, Ship Pirate, I think is another one or whatever. There's a few of
Yep.
them, and like,
USPS probably does it.
yeah.
That they do.
So that data is attainable, right? So then
Yeah.
if we want to port that over to crypto, really is just like porting that value. If
Yeah.
Shippo says 14.99 is shipping, then for crypto, we have to essentially take that figure, convert it to USDC
Yeah.
probably,
Yeah.
and then like add that to the total essentially.
Absolutely.
And probably in the somewhere in the middle there has to be like a fail safe lever for like being able to pay with whatever cryptocurrency you want, therefore accounting for like swappage, right? And or like adding a fee there for us for doing that, or you know, whatever the case is, you know.
Absolutely. If you just when you're checking out, you click pay with Higher.
Right.
And Higher is the company that resolves all of this payment and shipping shit. Instead of pay with Shop Pay,
Right.
instead of PayPal, it says Higher right there.
That'd be sick, dude.
To your point, like I've thought about this 100,000 times. If I understand how to build this, I'm either totally wrong or it's fucking easy.
Right.
One of the two.
Right.
You know, and I'll eat my shorts if I'm totally wrong. You know.
Hey, I've been wrong many times. I get, you know, I'm
Yeah.
willing to be wrong again, you know.
I've been wrong once, you know what I mean? Yeah. So my dad always says, I was wrong once. Oh shit.
That's hilarious.
Okay, well fuck. I'm happy.
Last thing with Live Peer, conversation went really well. Crazy Nick is the guy. Ain't that shit blew my mind. I was like, wait, that's you, dude? Like what?
So awesome.
That was awesome. He showed me a few examples that are really cool and I think are like very aligned also with what we're trying to do. I'll share the link with you. One of them was called New York Television, which I think was like on point, kind of like what we're trying to do with like the schedule. And they have I don't know if it's an executed idea or an idea in which they're going to do like the on-demand thing that we're talking about. And that, I will say that Nick was under the impression that that is something that they charge money for on a monthly basis.
Okay.
Like to access the VOD, basically the on-demand shows,
Yeah.
you have to pay $5 a month or whatever it is. Which obviously opened my eyes to like the idea of being like, oh, well, that's how we can make money then. A monthly subscription, all right? Or you have to hold 1,000 higher, whatever it is, right? Like,
Sure. Sure. I'm fucking with this.
so there's ideas there around as well. So only idiotic thing that kind of happened was he said it put us on a group chat on Telegram. He's already, by the way, going to talk to the Live Peer Foundation to get us in to get some like free credits or
Sick.
like partner credits or discounts or anything like that. And then I guess for transparency, there's essentially two entities here. There's the Live Peer Foundation, which is essentially like all the like decentralized stuff and all the like protocol things that Live Peer does. That would be where we effectively apply and get approved and receive credits
Okay.
for our product. But then
Okay.
there's also Live Peer, like the corporation, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where he kind of advises us to like get involved on like a community layer, right? Like see what other people are building with Live Peer, talk to people about what we're building on Live Peer, and also
Cool.
that like kind of increases our audience to a certain extent, right? And
Yeah.
there's a live peer Discord in which they have like these water cooler conversations every Friday that
Cool.
potentially could be a place where we could like showcase higher zip as well. So
I love that.
two really cool things I think kind of came up from that conversation. And then back to the Telegram thing is that he shared his Telegram username and I was in the Google Meets chat,
Oh, yeah.
so I lost it. Um,
It's cool. I
so I DM'd him for it again and he hasn't responded to me back again. So as soon as he gives me the Telegram, then I'll make that Telegram and then we could all just like have
I
conversation.
might have. Where did you DM him on Telegram?
No, I don't have the Telegram.
I think I have his Telegram.
Oh, if you do, then maybe you make the chat.
Sheik had added me to,
Nick Hollis or
I
something like
believe,
that,
a
right?
UFO chat once with, and I don't know if he's still watching, Error Gardner, the G Trevor. Love you,
Yeah.
brother. If you're watching, he was watching earlier. He texted me. You fucking rock. That's how I initially got in contact with Trevor, was through this UFO chat, I think.
So then that's the way then. That might be the fastest way because,
Probably.
no shade to Nick. I'm sure he's busy, but he was kind of slow on responding to emails before the meeting, and
Yep.
that might just be.
It's
So,
hard out here.
if you,
Oh yeah, I got him.
yeah, then maybe let's do that because that way we can just start the chat right now. I
What's
DM'd him on
okay?
X as well, and he hasn't responded on X either.
Okay. What should I say? You were talking to Brian.
Yeah, if you want, you can just do you have to send a message to start it? Because also you can start it and then I can do the intro like the intro part if you want.
Oh, I was just gonna DM him. I guess yeah, I can just make the group chat.
With us five. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I can hop into the group chat and be like, what's, hey,
Let's
sorry it
see.
took me so long to make the chat, et cetera, et cetera.
How the fuck do I make a chat? Let's see here. How does a motherfucker make a new chat?
Group, I think it's like a group thing. Let's see. Do I even know?
Oh, here we go. New group.
New group,
Okay.
yeah.
What should I call it? HIGHER.ZIP?
Yeah, do live peer hire zip or even
Yeah.
HZ,
Live peer.
or hire zip, something like that. I don't even know.
Okay, let's add Chamaquito. Cameron want to be in there? Or?
Yeah, I think he did. He did a thumbs up, so I'm
Oh yeah,
assuming that means yes.
that's a yes in my book.
A nonverbal yes. I think those are
Create.
the only things, yeah, from the live peer thing, if I remember correctly. Um,
I,
it's
I just
good.
created it. You should be in.
It's good that if we're pretty vocal and following up. Honestly, I'm gonna do it myself. Honestly, if you don't feel like doing it, it's fine. But I'm gonna be pretty. I'm gonna be heavy on my follow up game. Is what I'm saying. You know what I
You're a
mean?
Chad. You're a Chad.
Something I'm trying to learn to do in real life as well. So
I know you told me the recent stories about the follow up game
yeah,
being fruitful.
people might want that. Honestly, is the thing.
I think people do. And whether or not they know they want it,
Exactly. That's the whole
maybe
thing.
it doesn't matter.
That's the whole thing about it. Is like they don't know they want it until like, oh, this follow up is great. Thanks for
Yes.
following up, my guy.
Thanks for following up, my guy. What should I say? Yo, Nick. Are you typing already?
Yeah, I'll put it in there.
Okay. I'll follow up afterwards and just say, love you, brother. You met him at the skate jam, no?
I don't think I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's the only time
But
I
he
met him.
did tell me he went to it though.
Yeah, he was there. He gave me a UFO hat.
Yeah, it was crazy, dude. I didn't know that was him at all. He lives in Barcelona apparently, living the dream
I didn't know that, bro.
and
What,
working
he's
at
got a
Life Pier.
Latina mommy?
He's out here working on Live Pier and living in fucking Barcelona, dude.
That's gangster. What a G.
Yeah. Also, have you seen the UFO site lately?
Uh-uh.
Pretty fire as well.
I know it was fire.
Yeah, it's basically a radio show, public
Yeah,
radio.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Cause yeah, Chic Bangs was she was big on UFO.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think like UFO did your UFO spur out of FWB?
Highly likely, honestly. I don't
Oh, shit.
remember, but
Wait. Trevor's texting me right now. He said, Nick's been busy, but if you need me to relay something, let me know. He moved his family. Yo, Trevor, you want to just hop in the chat? Can we throw Trevor in?
oh, if he knows him, fuck it, right?
No, in the call.
Oh shit, that'd be crazy. Trevor from the book club? I mean, I'd met him in the book club.
No, that's Travis.
Oh, Trevor Error?
Eric Gardner.
Oh,
yeah.
hell yeah.
All right, Trevor, I'm gonna send you the link. If you're busy, fucking all good. Where is the link? Links and shit, man. I gotta take a leak so bad, but I'm gonna hold it. I drank 3 fucking LaCroix and a Bush Tall Boy.
Quote unquote.
Quote unquote.
Allegedly a Bush. It's water.
Yeah, Adam,
dude.
Bush water bottle.
But yeah, Nick is the man apparently. I didn't even know. I thought he was just a Live Peer employee, but it's like the Nick.
Real chiller. And see, well, here's Trevor.
Yo,
Yo, Trevor, what up, dog?
Yo, what's going on?
what's the deal? How
Dude,
you
fucking
doing, man?
crazy that you like watch our stream. That's insane.
I'm in your corner, man.
Yeah, you
Appreciate it.
are.
Thought you knew that.
You are the corner.
I'm the
You-
gardener, man.
Fucking, how are you, brother?
Gardener. I'm good. I'm.
Have you met Brian?
Yeah,
Yeah.
We met last year at the skate jam. Actually,
Hey, Karen. Okay,
the
cool.
jam brings us all together.
Yeah. We met the
Also,
day
that was
before
my
that.
event, right? Like that's clear, right?
Yes,
Okay.
very much. Very fucking much.
Damn straight.
You just slamming beers over there like me, bro?
Yeah, dude. What, you
What?
think this is a game?
Oh shit.
Bro, you got the energy right now. You got the fucking energy.
I got shit to do today, man.
Bro, I don't know how you live in New York now. We still haven't hung out, man. What the hell?
We tried, but it just didn't work out like that one week or whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm in Park Slope now for like a week. I've been like sublet hopping, so
Hell yeah.
What's
um,
Park Slope?
dude, I don't know. It's like I think it's like a nicer area of Brooklyn.
Okay.
So people go to
Because-
have babies.
I'm in like a brownstone building. I guess that means something.
I heard about that. I heard about Brownstone being cool.
Yeah, it's like it's I don't know. It's whatever.
That's what they say.
What are you guys up to besides all the things I just watched you talk about?
We're in a live peer convo now.
Yeah.
We're trying to squeeze out some tokens. We're trying to get HIGHER.ZIP to be affordable to stream through Live Peer, and funny enough, Nick, that crossover episode is crazy to me. I didn't know he was Live Peer guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, towards the end of last year, around like I think it was like right before base camp.
Cool.
Dope.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
funny coincidence then, because I mean, the world's so fucking small. Well, and crypto's definitely fucking small. The world is small, but crypto's tiny. So it's like that overlap is just amazing.
It's nice though because it's small. You can like kind of make quicker moves than like the traditional world. That's kind of why I'm still in this space, is just because of the rate it moves, the rate ideas can travel. And that's important because so many times in the traditional like funding world, whether that's art grants or just like projects you like, you have to go through so much red tape and so many different hurdles to even just get your idea presented. And then just some fucker somewhere is just like, no.
Actually,
Yeah.
how about we don't do that? Yeah.
So I don't know. It is definitely big fish, small pond. And you know, you see all the Farcaster discourse and whatever, and you're just like, all of these people are arguing so much and no one gives a fuck outside of this sphere.
Yes.
And no one will remember any of these arguments. Most people don't even remember why they were upset 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And you know, I don't know, if you can like harness that and use it to your advantage, you can actually get things through.
Yes.
So,
Well, welcome to fucking HIGHER.ZIP.
Yeah, legit.
Yeah, I don't know. We just reached out to Nick on Telegram, so I don't know.
I can bump him.
Hopefully he sees that. I don't want to bug him, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? At the same time, but
Yeah.
whatever.
What it might be night in
You
Barcelona.
got- yeah, you're fighting time zones.
Yeah.
Mm.
You know, that's just one thing to consider.
So yeah, bump him like 6 times while he's sleeping. Let's do that. Good fucking idea.
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, good. What are you up to? Any skate parks over in, what is it? Not Park City,
Park
but
Slope.
Actually, not. I just looked yesterday. There's nothing like kind of around this immediate area. I kind of got to go back to Bushwick or back to like McCarran where we did that last event. I did find it's a 24/7 indoor skate park, but you have to buy a membership, like a monthly membership to it. But they give you a key.
Oh.
You can go in at like 3 a.m. and just skate if you wanted to.
Damn.
I'm like going to Seattle for 2 weeks, so I didn't buy the pass for this month, but I'm gonna get it for April.
did you skate there already, or you just...
I went and checked it out right around that first snowstorm, but I didn't have my board yet,
Mm.
and so yeah, I had to.
What shop did you have your board shipped to you, or did you cop one from the local?
I had it shipped.
Okay, I was gonna ask what shop.
Particular with my stuff, so
I went to when I was out in
labor.
Bed-Stuy, Bushwick, Bed-Stuy. It was Tenant.
Tenant, yeah, they were one of the shops we approached last year to help out. Just they were like, we're busy, you know. It's
That's funny because I was in there. I bought a board while I was out there,
oh really?
and I was talking to the homie working at the shop, and I was telling him about the skate jam, and he didn't even know about it.
Yeah.
So it's funny.
Well, I mean, we put it together in like less than 2 weeks.
Oh yeah.
But that's like a testament to how fast you can do things. You know, I didn't even have a flight to go to FarCon because, you know, I can't afford to front my own costs or whatever. And at the same time, it's like you have all this money flying around and like no
Yeah.
one's interested in putting it into interesting projects except for the park. You know, the park is how I got out there. They
Yeah.
bought minute flight. And then I went out and realized like the best way to navigate these events is to make people come to you instead of trying to go to all these different places around New York. And so that's why I only host my own events at these things now for that specific.
I respect that.
Yeah.
That's dope.
But
That's something that, you know, we talk about all the time is hosting more IRL events. I think once I'm out there too, you know, us three could do some sick fucking events.
very easily.
And sick and still casual, you know, like not over the top. We're not doing a fucking Met Gala, but like, you know,
Yeah.
fun with it.
Yeah,
You can
big
keep
fire.
it. I don't know. I'm only like, I'm primarily focused on the IRL intersection of how this space can like activate,
Yeah.
because there is a lot of opportunity here still.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's a lot of discourse now about like, oh, why are we even here? Why do we even bother? Like, fork this, fork that. And I'm just like, fork it all, dude. This all sucks. Like, what are you even talking about? Like, none of this matters. You'll forget all of this in 2 weeks. But if you're planning something, people remember going to something. People still talk to me about the skate jam with the flowers and whatever, because it's memorable.
Big time.
And we're doing things that intersect how the real world actually participates in life.
Yeah.
How people actually interact with the world around them. Yeah.
Before all this. Yeah. What we used to do before all this.
I mean, I don't know if you remember, but at that park, do you remember the old lady who came up to the skate park because she saw the flowers and was just kind of like glanced over it and
Oh
didn't
yeah.
really understand, and then just kind of walked away? And then I ran after her with a whole bundle of tulips and just said, "Hey, you forgot these." And it like,
Yeah.
it changed the dynamic of her day. She
Yeah,
was, I needed this.
Did she buy the meme coin?
Is what she said.
Did she buy the meme coin after that though, bro? Like
Yeah, dude, she's fully onboarded. She formed her own L2.
Yeah.
Like, you know, old lady coin is like through the roof right now because of all the old money in New York, dude. I don't know. Did you get in?
No, I'm late. I'm not buying now.
You're not old enough.
Yeah,
Too late now, dude.
No, but I love it. I love it. That's kind of what it is. That's what we talk about here all the time. It's just like how truly like the takeaway is network and community. And people used to say that about NFT projects back in the day as a buzzword, but like it, and some of that manifested for sure, but like nothing past.
I don't know.
surface level for most things. Like some things bridge that gap like strongly, but like most things were like, we need a community manager, and it's like you don't have a community, bro. You just have people that bought your NFT.
Dude, the minute people got money, all of a sudden they thought, oh, we need to protect our runway. And I'm just like, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, you need to just pump it back into interesting projects, because then you'll get more money.
Yeah.
Because you'll have proof of work.
Yeah.
And that's why FWB failed. That's why, you know, some of these other like culture forward entities failed, is because they thought, oh, wait, we have this treasury now. Nouns, that's why Nouns is failing, because they're all protecting this money that they didn't deserve in the first place. It was just rich people throwing tokens to accumulate. And then in the case of Nouns, you see like the Break Even Coalition coming in that just totally like captured the treasury, and now you can't push anything forward.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in the case of FWB, they took all that investment money and paid people's salaries to not really return on anything. Like,
to say no to stuff.
before
Yeah.
that all happened, so much cool shit was happening. There were international dinner parties. There was, you know, Fest was a result of that whole like influx of money. you know, there were just like there was a city-wide focus. Like they had city keys where you could pitch any idea you wanted that made sense for your city, and then they would fund it to a certain degree. Like
They brought that back.
What
They're
was that?
bringing that back, or brought it back.
We'd love to, but, or I mean, yeah, they are kind of, but I mean, who cares? Nobody still who's running it because
Yeah,
they didn't
it is.
deserve to be running it.
It is.
Nobody
dead.
voted
Yeah.
for them. They inherited roles.
Mm.
And we all know this. Like when they formed the subgroup, that it was like there was supposed to be a subcommittee that represented the wants of the actual community, and they were going to intersect or interact with the mayor, who became a CEO without anybody asking, and with that came all of the money focus instead of the culture focus. And I don't know, it was just like, yeah, it's cool we're bringing back city keys, but it's just like, it's a little too late. No one cares. Like
The who cares comment.
nobody's interacting.
Yeah.
You know?
Who cares is real. I think there's with the right people involved, the who cares comment is freeing. But with the wrong people involved, who cares means death. Right?
Yeah. It's just like, oh, okay, they're just getting paid to think about what they can do for the community. And we were telling you what we could do.
Right.
All you had to do was listen, you know?
Yeah. The community was actually telling.
And honestly,
Well-
they ended up losing money because they didn't spend it when it was higher.
Right.
If they spent it at the top when we were all still doing things, that would have been converted to USDC, and it would have been more impactful. And now it's just like we're scrambling to do it again, but it's like Ethereum price is half of what it was. And so it was just like it's all too late.
Yeah, we're struggling with the same thing on a much smaller scale with Higher right now. And you know, you and I, Trevor, talked about this a little bit in New York, but we're struggling with that. And I think what our response has been is do what we want and do what we think is cool. And none of this is driven monetarily. Of course, we need to make a little bit money. We at least need to make our money back.
Things need to be covered and paid for and budgeted, sure. But
Money exists.
money exists everywhere. Even now, even at the lowest token price of all time, like you can still find it because there are people with fuck you money
Right.
that are still like keeping everything afloat on the sidelines, off chain. And I don't mean that as like a plug. I mean that like off the computer, like people are still funding things because there's a trust between users.
Yeah.
And that trust got pushed out of the public because there is no true building in public. It doesn't exist. It's a misnomer. You know, I don't know. It's by the time you get to see the in public build, it's already been workshopped
It's true.
6 or 7 times to get to that thing where they feel safe enough to
Exactly.
present to the
Well,
whole.
that's how we tried to do it too. We were like, well, let's just build it in public, but it never felt right. You know, like we didn't know what we were saying enough to like publicize things. So I understand that.
There needs to be like a centralized trust element. And
Same.
we're trying to kind of, with the park, there's talk of structuring a kind of newer centralized, decentralized community. So it's like you have, you know, let's call it 12 people who are known to execute great quality things within this space. I trust them to make decisions. And so, or one could trust them to make decisions.
Sure.
And so is that decentralized? Kind of. It's really, there's a central group of people.
Yeah, not really.
But they're enacting things on behalf of the greater whole.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm loosely calling it Central Park. Just because I'm based in New York. but the E is a 3, so Web3.
Hell yeah.
And I think like, it could unite groups like the Park, like Higher, like UFO, like NARS, all people that are known to kind of execute on a high level. But you get a handful of those key figureheads together in a room actually working on things that they execute on, not protecting a runway, not protecting fictional jobs that nobody earned.
Right.
Like, it's just that to me is the way forward. And then once that is successful, then you scale, then you go bigger. Then maybe there's another Central Park that pops up that represents Europe, that represents Asian interests. And yeah, so I don't know, like there is a world where this works, but it's not without like its own trials and tribulations. But if you always bring it back to fun, and if you always bring it back to serving as many people as possible, then it will always be a success, regardless of how much money you make.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming to TED Talk.
Yeah. This TED Talk sucked, man. No.
I want my money back.
Yeah. It's real. The fun thing we talk about a lot, and I yap about it, maybe too much, but it is true. Like I don't want to work on shit that's not fun, let alone try to attract people to something that's not fun. It's just it's either rewarding or valuable in a monetary manner, which we're used to in crypto, or it's rewarding and valuable on a personal level, which is emotional and driven by fun. Either driven by fun or we're not making like a film that's supposed to tug at your heartstrings. You know what I mean? We're trying to get people together to do what? I don't know. Enjoy life, which is have fun. It's exactly.
Ultimately, we're all gonna die and we're not getting any younger. And it's like, I don't have time to work a meaningless job that sucks my soul from me. And I catch a lot of flack for marrying my interests with my work, but if I only have 1 hour to do something, I'd rather work on something that's within the sphere of my interests. And the more we can kind of support those types of creators or, just people with ideas or whatever, the better off the people around us are, because now they have an opportunity to tap into that energy, and then they can probably take it farther than just if I was working on it by myself. And that's like the real, like, beautiful thing about this space is good ideas are rewarded over time as long as they're persistent. And because the space moves so fast, that persistence doesn't have to last that long. You just have to show up. And, I don't know, time rewards the real ones.
Time rewards the real ones. Ideally, right? And most of the time, for sure. I think people get jaded because they take time out of the equation and see people getting rewarded that aren't real. But when you add the element of time in, it does seem to be true. I mean,
right.
I don't know if there's any other truer aspect. And I think along those lines, I feel like crypto blew up in a way that for most people was, I can fuck with crypto to set myself up to where now I can do those things that I wanted to do in the first place because my bag is big, as opposed to like, I can use crypto as a technology to do the things that I want to do and continually make money and like run an organization. It's always like, oh, once I get this bag, I'm going to do that shit I want,
Right.
So everybody's like dying for that bag. But in reality, it's like, no, that only works for a few folks. And the technology is good. How can you use this to allow yourself that time right now? You're not fucking rich, but you're buying time for yourself to do exactly what you want to do. That's kind of what we try and unpack every week. It's like, what are we doing? Why? What is this technology? Are we falling into tropes and traps and whatever's, predisposed around the industry? Or are we actually doing shit that we think is valuable, for one, first and foremost, selfishly to our lives, and seemingly valuable to those around us that maybe want to play? I think that conversation will be ongoing for fucking forever.
Mhm.
I don't know. We're not going to find that answer like tomorrow. And
It's not our responsibility to find that answer. It's
Right.
our responsibility to be pioneers and to try new things and to fail, honestly, because we're paving the way for, I think about my best friend's like kid who is just getting into skateboarding and is just getting into like this idea of like learning about music and stuff like that. And it's just like the things we do now impacts them. Setting the course for that world. Like we live in the gray area transition period, and we may not ever see the success that we really want. However, it doesn't mean it's a failure on the whole. We're paving the way for people to come up and fix it, but they need some sort of guideline to like play off of.
See, that was the TED Talk. That was the TED Talk right there. And I do not want my money back. Thank you.
Trev Talk. It's a Trev Talk.
Trev Talk. Yeah, I appreciate.
That's trademarked, by the way.
Yeah, well, that's live on YouTube, brother. You're not getting it back.
It's already out there.
This Google Meet.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Google Meet is live on YouTube, bro. It's live on.
Oh, is it? Is that how I watch it?
You can.
It's being, well, no, like how I literally was watching earlier on.
You were watching it on HIGHER.ZIP?
Yeah.
No, that's live peer.
Oh, that is live here.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Got it.
Yeah,
Word.
we're trying out here. So
Yeah.
ideally, it is a separate stream technically.
Now, are you able to, I imagine you're able to inject any sort of ATEM switcher and actually use real cameras and send real feeds. So if we could get a Starlink out to the skate park, we can route all of our handheld cameras straight to the stream.
Totally.
See, now that's that shit I wanted to hear. Yes.
Yeah, we could literally do anything in the context of live stream production. We could do anything a regular live stream can do, and it would stream to HIGHER.ZIP as long as we route it to that RTMP or RMTP, whatever it is called. Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. The park used to do weekly streams at the studio, but never had like the flexibility to live switch like a broadcast. And that's something I've been wanting to kind of like integrate in a more like meaningful way. I just didn't know if like the back end was built out enough to register multiple like different feeds other than your built-in camera on your computer or whatever.
Yeah, pretty much anything. If you're on the road, you could get Meld or OBS on any kind of mobile thing and point that stream at our live stream, and that's it. That's kind of it.
Dude, that's sick. Okay, so Skate or Die 2, when we do Road to Rome, we can just pop the Starlink in the car and then show up the skate. I had a Starlink on that last trip, but didn't have enough people to make it make sense to do a full-on broadcast. It's just like one camera is not that interesting to look at over and over again.
Well, it is.
IRL streams do that though. Yeah.
What was that?
The IRL streams do that. It's just literally a guy with a camera following another person around. Which I think sometimes I've seen the tech stack on that, and it seems like they're using essentially two mobile hotspots with a bond, and they're bonding the network to have enough upload speeds.
So they're making their own mesh or
Basically,
whatever? Oh,
yeah.
okay. That's cool.
And the best case in that, I think I saw was the AT&T Nighthawk, which is literally just like a mobile router that plugs a SIM card into it, and literally all it does is uh, produce a Wi-Fi network that you could then stream on. So you could do two Nighthawks, and it would be pretty comparable. And I've even gone as far as doing a Nighthawk and the hotspot on my iPad and bonding those two networks, and it was pretty seamless, honestly.
Dude.
Mm.
See, the mesh network thing is like kind of blowing my mind. That's sick.
Yeah, honestly, there's an app right now called Streamify that does all that magic for you of actually meshing them, and that's it. So I honestly don't even know that much about mesh networks, but I'm pretty sure it's called Streamify. If it's not Streamify, it's like Streamify,
Sure.
Streama something, but it's one of those
iStream.
things. Yeah.
Well, it's probably strengthened by proximity too, right? So like the closer those two networks you're trying to bond are, the stronger that signal would be. Is that my understanding?
I assume so. Yeah. I mean, when I did it, I just had them literally stacked on top of each other. And then I would plug into the Streamify app and it would do the patching of the two networks somehow. It's honestly, it's a magic box to me how it does it. But yeah.
Real.
So what you're saying is this summer we're going to skate through New York and stream it all on higher.zip.
Hell yeah.
I think so.
Why the fuck not?
That's what you're moving here for, right? I mean,
Yeah,
come on.
actually, yeah.
I'm here.
Don't tell my
Really?
wife. No, she'd be actually excited about that. And we'll stream us pouring that higher arrow curb.
Yeah, dude.
Bro.
I've been thinking about that more. I think I like the ledge idea.
We gotta do both, dude.
We got to, yeah. The ledge, like the curb seems like a complicated form to build,
I'll figure that out. Don't worry.
but the ledge you could use double up cinder blocks on top of each other and make an arrow and then cut off cinder block in half to make the point. And then you already have
Yeah.
a cinder block ledge, and then you coat it with like a spread of concrete and then full on
Yeah.
paint it
Yeah,
white.
here. I mainly am maybe just biased about the curb because I suck at skateboarding, as opposed to the ledge. Because I want to skate it. I could skate a ledge, but
I have a rule that I
totally
don't
make it.
skate anything lower than my hip.
Yeah, is that true?
It is because that's when I fuck myself up.
Lower than your hip.
Yeah, I only skate objects bigger, like taller than my hip, because then you're falling on the object as opposed to hitting into the object.
I can't ollie to my hip high, bro.
With that attitude,
You fucker. No chance I'm ollieing hip high, bro. Like knee high.
that's you, dude. Like it's the way you slap it onto a ledge. No, I mean like a board slide bonk onto a ledge.
Yeah.
You're not ollieing the height of the ledge. You're ollieing like just to
Yeah,
get.
but I want to nose crook it, dude.
It's like if you hit your board right, the momentum carries you onto the object.
Yeah, but what if I
It's
want to
never
hit
an
my own?
up and on. It's a in and on. We'll workshop this in
All
real
right,
life.
I need
We'll make that
workshopping.
easy.
I need
Yeah, I got you,
workshopping.
Jim. We got this.
I'm halfway here. But yeah, fucking workshop me, bro. This is a self-help session, dude. Get Sean good at skating. That's what New York is for. Get
Yep.
Sean good at skating, and I've hired Trevor.
Honestly, we need to do the first stream at Brooklyn Banks because
Why
it just opened at the end of last year again, and
Is
it's
it
like,
pretty? Is it pretty busting over there?
I mean, yes and no. It's more like there's definitely shit I want to do there. Like I've mapped out my tricks that I like think I'm capable of. Like because it's like a bank to like a wall slab, and so you can do a lot on a bank to wall. If you go on the wall, but like we gotta work our way up there.
That's what I would do at the banks. Front side, kind of like alley oop back down. on that
Hell yeah.
wall. That's goals. That's fucking goals. If it doesn't involve grinding, I'm better at it.
Same. I'm more of a transition guy anyways.
Yeah, dude. Okay, I'm gassed. I should probably hop off here, gentlemen,
Same,
Word.
same.
with love, but we got shit. I got pictures to take. The light's about to come in through this
Oh, yeah.
window, really nice, and I need to take these photos of the calendar.
After you do that, send me that clip.
Yes, I could probably do that beforehand.
Don't lose your light. No.
Okay,
You will run out of light. Do the thing that you can do in the dark later.
I appreciate that. And if I don't send it to you,
I will text you again.
thank you. You know how squirrel I am, bro.
And Brian, let's hang out.
Yeah, man. We got to do that.
I'm
Let's do-
around the next few days, so tonight, tomorrow, day after, whatever. I don't care.
Yeah, let's do tonight or Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, something like that.
Cool. Awesome.
All right.
Well, Jim, thanks for having me, guys.
Thank
Thanks
you,
for
man.
coming on, Trevor.
Cheers.
Higher, bitch.
Peace.